ADHD, Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. And we are highly acquainted with this term in today's times. It's highly common, like 1 out of every 10th child has it. It's mostly manifested in children in the early, like the first decade of their life, most common in boys than in girls. And we adults can also have ADHD. You know, few of the manifestations of ADHD that you have commonly observed or seen are, they're very restless. They are moving a lot. They can't sit in one place. It is very difficult for these children to contain themselves. Like, for example, if a teacher asks a question, these children are very impulsive. They'll not wait for their turn to answer because it's very difficult for them to make themselves wait, to, control the impulse. They'll just raise their hand, they speak something impulsively. They may have regrets later, but words once spoken can't be taken back. They do things which are disrespectful, which don't give you the liberty to do them at the designated, places and time. And in the later decade of their life, they will have these concentration problem. They will feel it very difficult to focus on one thing at one point of time. There'll be many things, haywire in their brain. And again, it will be a task to just focus on one thing at one point of time. Girls may not be as expressive as boys. They may just internalize the symptoms. Like, the girl may get into panic attacks or may feel anxious, may start losing her grades, will have excessive food cravings. There may be a sudden increase in her weight, so on and so forth. There will be tendency to touch their genitals, to masturbate, which is, these are very commonly seen in children. And there is no any investigation like the CT, MRI can diagnose this condition. Also, there are techniques like the scaling techniques, the scoring techniques, which can be handed over to teachers in the school, to parents at home, or the caregivers. To diagnose your child as ADHD, it should be seen in every sphere of his life, like at school, at home, with his friends or peers. Because sometimes the children are angelic at school and they're very notorious at home. When we label the child as, you're a bad child, you're a naughty child, you're quite mischievous, and this and that, it creates a state in which the child may feel that I'm not good enough, or I am the bad child, people don't like me, and they start losing their confidence. They'll not be able to deal with the society in the normal ways as the other children will. It can be a challenge for the parents as well as the caregivers to control these children. But believe me, with proper parental counseling, with love, kindness, and empathy, these children are able to, handle themselves quite well. For ADHD, there are various therapies like the behavior therapy, the CBT, and of course these therapies are a lot of help, but sometimes we need to, provide medications to the children. And homeopathy is safe, gentle, scientific, and provides a holistic treatment, wherein our principle is that every individual is different. Likewise, every child is different, and the manifestation of ADHD seen in every child will be different. And to trace this pattern and to, find the root cause or the core from which all these symptoms of ADHD are manifesting in the child, and to give medicine accordingly, is what homeopathy does. And along with homeopathy and behavioral therapy and CBT, lifestyle changes, exercise, the diet will all help to treat ADHD.